Hello everyone, this is Suzanne and God Crochet and Chatter. Welcome back. As you can see, I'm still in the kitchen. I think it's going to be a while before they get to digging up that foundation outside of our wall. I'll be glad when this is over. It's kind of testing my patience, but we'll get through it. All right. Welcome back everybody. How you been doing? I'm so glad that you decided to spend some more time with me yet again today for another lesson from God's Word. At God Crochet and Chatter, we are going through the Bible in a year. You can jump in anytime and always get something from God's Word from us here at God Crochet and Chatter. All right, we'd like to do a trivia question first. Saturday's was, what do the 10 horns of the beast represent in Revelations 17? The 10 kingdoms which are allies of the beast, Revelation 17:10. Today's question, how many generations were there from Methuselah to Noah? How many generations were there from Methuselah to Noah? We got through week 30. Wow, congratulations everyone. And as you know, last week we finished up the book of John. This week we are in Ecclesiastes and Psalms. Today we read chapters 1 through 4. This information is in the drop-down box for you. Okay, let's get to our lesson, shall we? And then I almost got one more dishcloth done, but that in just a minute. The book of Ecclesiastes is also known as the book of foolishness. 29 times under the sun is said. That's a lot of under the sun things being done, isn't it? Solomon was a seeker on a quest for the meaning and purpose of life. He did the grand experience to find out where true happiness, true joy comes from. Does it come from this world and our pleasures? Or does it come from somewhere else? Human wisdom cannot solve all problems. Human perfection just does not exist because all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Ecclesiastes provides information and instruction on how to live meaningfully, purposely, and joyfully within the theocratic arrangement. Primarily by placing God at the center of one's life, work, and activities. By contently accepting one's divinely appointed lot in life, and by reverently trusting and obeying the Creator King. The purpose of Ecclesiastes is to spare future generations the suffering and misery of seeking after foolishness, meaninglessness, materialistic emptiness, and offer wisdom by discovering truth is seeking after God. Don't we see that today where everybody's seeking pleasure, drinking, partying, drugs, wherever they can find pleasure, they want to go there. But as Solomon found out, it all is vanity. How do we try to make sense of life? Eking out enjoyment? Solomon didn't. He said all is vanity, empty, not satisfying, endless. It's all endless, over and over. Nothing, nothing old is new again, or nothing new is old again. How many times do we think, oh, well, that was my grandparents, my great-grandparents' generation, and no, it's not, because they saw it during their time too. Pleasure seekers and God seekers. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is knowing of something. Wisdom is doing it. If we don't apply the knowledge, knowing of something, into wisdom, doing something about it, what good is it? You can know all you want to, But if you don't make practical application, what use is it of? None. Chapter 1, Vanity of Life. Now I want to read chapter 1, verses 8 through 11 in Ecclesiastes. through 11. All things are full of labor. Man cannot express it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. That which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which it may be said, see, this is new? It has already been in ancient times before us. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of things that are to come by those who will come after. People that come after us, they're not going to find out anything new. It's all been done. And we know with knowledge, it can increase sorrow. The more we know, the more we're responsible for, and the more we need to apply it to our lives. Sometimes you go, my mom taught me how to iron, and I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. Well, pretty soon I was doing all the ironing, and it wasn't so fun anymore, was it? Like, I wish I wouldn't have learned this. Now it's my job. Chapter 2, Testing Out Pleasure, Running After Pleasure. Hedonism, highest aim in life is to test out pleasure and run after pleasure. The United States of hedonism. Solomon said this is empty. It did not fill him up. Now in chapter 3, and I really like this, everything has its time. To everything there is a season, a time for purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck. To pluck what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep, a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to gain and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. And 11 through 13 says, in chapter 3, He has made everything beautiful in His time. He has put eternity in their hearts, except that no one can find out the work that God does from beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for them to rejoice and do good in their lives, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. You know, when Ron and I do stuff around the house, and it brings us such great joy because we have such a feeling of accomplishment at the end of our day. We take joy in simple pleasures. We don't need the pleasures that the world is offering because most of that is full of emptiness. And there's too many in the United States today that are seeking all those pleasures which are vanity. And we need to pray for these people that their eyes are opened. As, you know, Solomon has written down for us. He experienced it all. He denied himself nothing. And at the end of it all, love the Lord, your God, with all your heart, soul, and mind. All right, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed that devotion today. Wow. I would have liked to have spoken to Solomon in his day. Such wisdom and such folly. And then at the end, what he finally discovered. That was awesome. All right. Let's get to what I've been working on. Here's that dishcloth that I started. Next I'm going to put my edging around it. There it is. Now these are various scrap cottons that I had. And remember my balls, I'm working off of this one. I still got my knit one going. I've been trying to get this one finished up. But yeah, I really like the scrappy look. Wouldn't this make a great scarf? I was thinking, that would make a very warm scarf, and it's pretty on the other side too. But I thought, well, maybe I could make a long scarf and then put a nice border around it, and that would be very warm in the winter time. See, turn my dishcloth into a scarf. All right, everyone, that's it for today on God Crochet and Chatter. I hope you've enjoyed the devotion. I will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow, chapters 5 through 8 in Ecclesiastes. All right, everyone, you go out and make it a blessed day in the Lord.